This is my video showcasing my drive to work. There's bumps in my driveway. There's a really big bump here. And then off we go. Little potholes. I have to avoid cars. Undulation in the driveway. Road, sorry. Wind, of course. That's mostly for audio, not for driving. Dark spots that are really dark, and it's difficult for me to see the terrain. Possible undulation due to different surfaces. I'm running at a clip of about 6 miles an hour. There's vehicles that I have to avoid. Another dark spot due to trees, so it's contrast. There's the gutter there. If I make a mistake, I end up in it, and it's a drop off. Nice dark section. Another dark section. Look, a stop sign. I can't read that sign normally. I don't know what road it is. Let's see. It says West Seal. Okay. As you can tell, dark spots, bad road. Three-way, no stop sign. I just kind of have to go. All the debris. And this is the side that I normally switch. And I ride this way all the way down. Look, there's a drop off right there. Different contrast between, so the glasses would actually help, make that smoother. And now I'm on the side of the road where cars come at me, so I have to be paying attention to those as well as the curb. Cacti. And this is all done in real time, so you know the exact travel time that it takes me. More dark spots coming up. It's not as bad as it could be at night. I'll redo the trip tonight if I have the battery power. Gas just in the road. Now this is where it starts to get interesting, because there are changes in light dynamics and big chunks of the street that are broken, so I have to really pay attention and adjust my speed like that. That stick. Another chunk of road missing. More bumps. As you can tell, right up here I have to slow down and make minor adjustments, as well as that car. A nice thick contrast with a bump. Let me go back and show you that bump. Yes, this is my reverse. Didn't see it, did you? Neither did I. Another bump in the road. More problems. More bumps. Another major bump. Oh, goodness. More cracks. The road is so uneven. If you'll notice, there are no sidewalks. Drainage ditch that I could fall into at night. Pretty bad. Oh, there was a car in that driveway backing out that I didn't see because I'm videotaping. That was fun. Let me get over. I try to stay in one lane. More broken road. More contrast. More broken road. Oh, looking at a vehicle that I got to pay attention to. More of the same. More contrast, and there, you can't really define the shoulder here, but there is one sort of, and it's a driveway too with rock. And so if you're not careful, on a big hole and another drainage ditch, and then you can't really tell easily, but there is a merging spot here. I'm using it, and now we're heading toward the stoplight that I go to. And there's the crosswalk. Wait. And over there is the button, which I can't see easily because of the light conditions now. I just have to look, squint and look for the red, and when it changes to not red, then I know to go. Now I get to go. More undulation and problems. At least there's a crosswalk. As you can tell, a car sped past behind me. More undulation. And now I get a sidewalk. This sidewalk is small. Undulation. And littered with debris in a little bit. Also has contrast spots and poles that I have to look out for. And a hill on that side that will easily tip my chair. That's why I'm swerving a little bit. I'm catching debris. Right there, here's a bump and more debris. You see I'm in it. I hate this sidewalk. Now I have a choice. Sometimes I can cut through the parking lot of the school, but I'm choosing not to today because I am recording, so I'm going to use the sidewalk and show you. More dark spots. Ow! Let me go back and show you that bump. This one is a misnomer. It doesn't look that bad. But as you can tell, it's pretty bad. There's another one. Oh, nope, that was a shadow. I'm sorry. You see? This is why I need the glasses. There's a transition here, and it's awkward. I'm going to stop for just a second and adjust, because now I have slid out of my seat. Okay, we're back in business. Have to avoid the fire hydrant in the middle of the sidewalk. A bump. Another thing, more bumps. Now we have another awkward transition with broken road, which is a really bad bump. More broken road, more driveway broken, more transition awkwardly. As you can tell, a light pole, another pole. At least this is nice and wide. Okay, another transition. Alright, I'm gonna let this vehicle pass. Now, you may see that there is sidewalk continuing, but at this point I have to get in the street because the sidewalk ends up having major problems. And look, there's a pole that I cannot get by there. And if we continue on down this very steep incline that they have posted, no trucks are allowed to take this. Look, it gets extremely narrow there. I can't even tell if there's a transition there. There is no transition there. The sidewalk gets narrow. It's all broken and busted up there. There's a piece that is modified there. Look, more shadows and contrast. I can drive off. That's narrow again. Right now they have all the flags and stuff piled up from leaves. That's a really bad curb. There again, it's more narrow, really bad contrast, more contrast. It gets smaller still. Right there is a really bad spot if I'm not careful. Another light pole in the way. More contrast, as you can see. Oh look, a nice curved driveway. Awesome. You're thinking, okay, well that's broken, so that's difficult to transfer onto. And then you have, oh, what is that? Right dead in the middle. There's no way I can get up that. Okay, then there's that broken piece there. Okay, now I transfer back onto the sidewalk for a minute. Lots of contrast here, and if I haven't driven this a lot, I wouldn't know the problems. There's a really bad dip right here. Of course, the sidewalk, your standard undulation. And sorry, I was paying attention to the video and not to driving, and see that happens. Hang on. There's about a 2-3 inch curb there. If I were to drop off, it would mess up my chair and probably flip. Not a good day. So I'm driving. There's another pole. Here's another undulation spot. More undulation issues. Another pole. That was a nasty little bump there. This sidewalk is actually tricky to navigate. It dumps my chair off to the right, has issues. I'm staying on this side of the road because it's an old gas station. Look, more broken stuff, more issues, more hazards. If I get too far off, I end up in that ravine. That's not good for my chair. Another broken spot. It's fairly smooth right now. Then comes the fun part. As you can see, railroad tracks. So I have to be very careful. Now these are pretty even, so my chair doesn't tend to get caught, but I can't go flying through here, I'd wreck. I stick to this side of the road because it's still the same correct side. More broken and undulated pieces of road. That's a fairly big pothole. There's the drainage section there. We're still trucking, we're still moving. I'm now 15 minutes into my drive. So, you know, pretty good distance. This is undulation and really bad contrast. They've repaved over this a couple times. This is the one where they can be uneven, but right now they've done a pretty good job of making them even. Look at the contrast and the broken pieces of the road there. That other road just loops around back to where I'm going, so it takes me out of the way. Okay, we're trucking. Now we're on a fairly decent road for a little bit. I mean, it has your standard patches and some dark spots by trees, but pretty much it's it. There's no bailout, there's no sidewalk. It's just me and the cars. Broken undulation. I can't see any of it. And I'm holding the camera roughly about my eye level so you can see exactly what I see. I'm going to stop for this car. It's nice. This is a two-lane road out, but it's tight. So I like to stop and give them precedence. Really bad undulation. As we get farther along, the breaks in the road and the patching becomes apparent that it's crazy. I have to stop again and adjust. Okay, here's another street. Don't know where that one goes. Really don't have time to find out. Look at this really bad spot. Okay. There's more bad spots coming up. It's all broken and messed up. I'm sure the other side of the road is fine, but I take this side so that way cars can see me coming down the road like that one. As opposed to cars coming up from behind me. This is a section that's kind of tricky. It dips down. And see, the camera gives you an autofocus, so you're not really able to see the problem that I'm having. That's why I'm doing my best to narrate and let you know what exactly is going on. Different little patches. If I'm not careful, I could drive up into the grass. Not too fun. I apologize for any coughing. I'm going up a little bit of an uphill here onto a bridge. There again, look, magic. You can get onto the sidewalk, but it's narrow, and if you continue down, car coming behind me. See, there it is. There's a weird transition, and it's all grass and a pole and a fire hydrant and more poles. They actually close this road when it rains really hard and floods, which makes it difficult. And look, no transition off, so it's useless to take that. Now we're on the cobblestone. Anyone that's driven on brick road knows it's bumpy and undulated and not fun. And yes, that's an uphill. This area speaks for itself, so I'm just going to drive for a minute. I will say one thing. We are coming up on downtown, so there's lots of increased traffic. That's a firehouse. They usually have big trucks sitting out there wanting to zip in and out. There's a motor bank over there, so I have to be careful of people coming out of that. Have to be careful of that transition. A blind curve, even for normal people, looks good today, so I'll take it. The transition here is awkward. This is downtown, not too much to see. I have to be careful of the poles and the trash cans that they leave. Okay, now we're looking at, oh, look at the harsh contrast. You probably can't see the lights at all. I can't see the lights at all. So guess what I have to do? I have to look both ways, ensure traffic is safe, and just jump across a live street. That's fun, isn't it? Yay! I now switch to the other side of the street because it's less. And sure, there are sidewalks on this one, but I'm going to be getting off the street in about a block, so there's no point in using it. I'd rather have more bailout on the street itself than have to drive up next to a building with poles in the way. Sorry, there's a lot of wind. There's sidewalk all the way down that side, and that's wonderful, but that's the wrong side of the street. I'd have to jump across the street to continue, so I just stay on this side. If you can't tell, it's undulation, and there are drainage ditches like you saw, and things like that. Okay, we're coming up onto the stop. There again, look, nice bright yellow drainage ditch with a hole that's covered in shadow. Sorry, I'm adjusting. Hang on. Alright. 22 minutes into our drive, I make my next turn. This is the... Okay, now this is wonderful because this is actually parking spaces all the way down. So I ride in the parking spaces. Past this wonderful building here, that's the Fredonia building that is closed, the Fredonia Hotel. As you can tell, more traffic. I'm going to turn right at that light pole, but since there's no crosswalk, I just have to kind of stop and look for traffic, and there doesn't appear to be any, so I can go ahead and cross. The road is fairly smooth, I mean, not too bad. There again, sidewalks, but they're kind of useless because, oh look, a big bump and no curb cut, so there you go. More contrast, bumps, transitions, and the like. I hope this has given you an adequate view of the world that I travel, because this is really what this video is all about. We're coming up to our next turn. That's a school. I think it's called TJR. I'm not sure. If I'm not careful, I'll get caught in the debris here and the ground. Okay, I can drive, but as you can tell, shadow, and look, a car, so I'm just going to go around. The school's closed today since it's Sunday. Normally I wouldn't be able to do this, but I guess I could have cut through the other school because it was closed. But now I'm cutting through their parking lot to stay out of the way of the streets, so I don't go that fast. But normally I have to ride right up against the edge. And this is what I do every day that I go to work. I come up here, I see this turn, and I do what I like to call the dodge. I drive in the parking spaces, and there is undulation here pretty much all the way. The road is very unstable. Of course, there's a crosswalk, but it leads to nowhere. Sorry, the camera's a little shaky. Traffic always comes down this road. I'd give you road names, but unfortunately, I can't see them. I think this is Reggae. I'm not certain. Okay, now we're into the parking spaces. I usually ride in these as far as I can when there are, when there are vehicles. I have to wait for traffic like that if he was coming straight, and then get out into the street and pass the vehicle, and then merge back into the hello car. That's a drop off. I'm gonna stop here since I am. Nope, I'm gonna stop in an actual parking spot and adjust again. I'm sorry for all the adjusting. My power chair doesn't have a seat belt, and I keep sliding out because of all the bumps. That's a transition to Park Street, right there by the church that goes down by my best friend's house. At some point, I'll maybe upload a video going that way. Here is my drive. Like I said, I'm just following, continuing. More bumps. Not a whole lot of dark spots right here because there's no trees or really anything. Okay, I'm crossing the street. That's just the back way behind the school. Sometimes I take it, transition up onto this road, but before I do, let me look and show you. This is a perfect lesson. I backed up to show you the road. Almost got stuck. Had to fix it. Okay, there's no traffic on the road, so now we're going to transition over and go ahead and go down here. There's no way to get up on the sidewalk, so I can't really use it. And I don't need to be on that side of the road because I'm going to be turning on this side. So mostly this road is pretty nice. I mean, there's some contrast zones, but it's mostly just the traffic because it's a really busy road. Right now it's Saturday, there's not a whole lot on it, which is nice for videotaping. But it leads directly to one of the major hospitals in town, and so it's pretty popular. Let me turn my view so that way you can see what I'm seeing. There's a car, yep. Drainage ditch. I keep calling them drainage ditches, they're not. They're just drainage, city drainages. I'm sorry. There's a car driving past me because I'm going too slow. That's fine, at least they were nice and slow. Okay, this building right there is where I'm turning. And I clocked in at 29 minutes. Look at that. I got in the sidewalk. Okay, look at the transition here. Busted up, nasty. Gotta really pay attention. And onward we go. We're still on I guess you could call it a residential thoroughfare. People use this road all the time. Sometimes there are actually big trucks like garbage trucks and things like that that come down here, but pretty much it's just me. At least today. Yes, I know there are sidewalks, but they're not always well kept. They're sometimes overgrown. And look, this one just stops. So now we have no sidewalks whatsoever. Look, more contrast. We're actually at an intersection of a street. It's just bumpy. We're continuing on. We're continuing on. Lots of contrast here. I could easily end up in that curb if I have to get over too far, and that's a little transition. There's a better shot with light. Alright, up at this dead end in a second. I'm going to transition over to the left-hand side, and I hear a car, so I'm going to wait for them to pass me. I'm going to turn around and check. Okay, there are no other cars coming, so I'm going to go ahead and go over. I'm getting over because I'm turning left, and that sidewalk that you see there has a nice little exit ramp at the corner, so if there's any problems with multiple cars, like this one, I could get over. I'm sitting on the ramp itself, watching the corners. There's that one. There's that car. Okay, now I'm going to transition on. Yes, there's a sidewalk there, but it's got heavily contrast and real small. Now, I don't even know if I can get off at my turn up here. Okay, I could, but see there again, it ends. I was watching the screen, not the road. I'm sorry about that. I'm new to this whole driving and taping thing. I hope you're enjoying this video as much as I am. Oh, look, a car. I don't know where that sidewalk started, if you saw it. If not, then don't worry about it, but it just ended. Alright, I just made my transition there to Martinsville. Hello. Martinsville is a small 2-lane road, no sidewalks. Just a little residential road, really. Lots of contrast. And the thing about contrast is, it's fine during the day, but if I come home at night and I wasn't able to accurately map the road for the day, say there was a tree limb that falls or a power line that falls, I'm SOL. I don't see it. There's a little bump here. We're still continuing. Notice no sidewalks. So it's just me and the cars. There are power lines above my head. So if those were to fall, I wouldn't know about it until I came up on them. That's not a good thing for visually impaired people. There's actually a curb there. You cannot see it because of the overgrowth, which means I can't tell where the road stops. Oh, a little bit of transition. Oh, look there. You saw it just there. Right there. Look, slow trail crossing. Okay, at this point I transition onto this road because look at that. I don't want to be driving in that. That's all kinds of bumps. I had a friend wreck his chair and damage his foot plates. More contrast. You can't really see it right now. Oh, yes you can. There's the trail crossing. Nice bright green for cars at night. I'm now on a bridge with contrast, which is really not good because there's no real, I don't know, look, I don't know how close I am to the side at night with the headlights blinding me. It's difficult. But during the day, it's not so bad. I'm not saying I don't like night driving. I'm just saying that night driving for me is way worse than it is for all of you. More transitional. Look, trash on the bailout zone. I don't know how much of bailout zone there is. There's coming up. I know there's a manhole cover up here somewhere. I just don't remember exactly where it is. Oh look, there it is. And that's got a really bad lip right next to a drainage area, so I gotta be careful. Another car. More problems. Oh. Look, that was a blind driveway. Thank you, car, for demonstrating. That driveway is for Subway. Subway is a fairly popular corner store. If I'm not careful, I could get hit. There's a bank right there which has cars zipping out of it often. We're now coming up to another stoplight. Because of my drive and multiple adjustments, it's been 35 minutes, so this drive has taken me a little bit longer, maybe about a minute and a half by the time I conclude the video. More transitional issues. Okay, at this point, I'm not crazy. I'm going to use the crosswalk. I come up. Wait, I hit the crosswalk button, and my crosswalk is across the street. Now today, the lighting is so bad I can't see the crosswalk, but I can hear the beeps, and I can go. See that building with the orange? That's my job. That's where we're going. I'm gonna go ahead and just cross over the road here. There was no cars. And I do my little jump. I transition into the parking lot of this Chevron. I avoid all the unnecessary bumps as I can. Transitions are kind of awkward. And now I'm on work territory. Yay! I'll drive up so you can see, look, cars. I'm going to cut through my parking lot. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope that it has let you know what trials. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm not paying attention.
That's fine. As you can tell, I didn't see them coming because I was talking to you guys, not looking at the screen. That's my fault. I have to be very wary in parking lots of cars backing up and people. There's a car down that way that I'm going to cross right across. Okay. This is my brake bench, so I'm going to stop here. Thank you for enjoying my video. Please like and share my campaign. If you have any questions, you can contact me or my wife. Please feel free to give. I really need the help. Thanks again. And the total time is 38 minutes and 17 seconds. Thanks.